Welcome to Outsiders Podcast. I am your host, Brandon Woodall. To my right
That's why I was saying that.
is Bryce Armstrong.
The only reason
It's not
that
It's reversed.
just because God put a salad bar at Pizza Ranch doesn't mean he wanted you to waste your time there.
What are you talking about?
I think we're on two different subjects.
No, we were never not talking about that.
About Pizza Ranch?
I'm so confused.
Shout out
No,
to Paul
okay.
Rock.
Yeah, well, so no disrespect to Pizza Ranch, but I find salad bars to be an absolute waste of.
Yes, absolutely. No,
Whoa.
life is too short.
No, but I use the toppings.
No.
okay.
I like salads sometimes.
Okay, yeah, that's the only place to put
And
the
buffet.
pudding
Yeah.
and the Oreo fluff, I guess. But
It's be-
otherwise,
I just want to know, what are you talking about?
I just wanted to start the show wrong. So
do you need me to
first thing
restart?
He wanted
first
you
thing
to-
I
we
first
were
thing
in
I
the
could think
middle
of.
of
No,
See,
this
Jim's not here to keep us in control. Which, by the way, Jim's not here today.
Aw,
Um,
I was wondering.
I have a little bit more leg space tonight.
Oh, yeah.
We're not on video.
That's true.
But yes, to my opposite right would be
That is a
That's you,
confusing
Bryce.
statement.
That's you, Bryce.
I know what it
You're
was.
more lefter than us.
I was just trying to think of a way to get out of it, and I can't.
you can't.
I know. My name
This
is Bryce.
This is the
Armstrong.
order. We must keep order.
Yeah, because we can't change.
No.
And to that guy over there.
You didn't say nothing.
I said my name is Bryce.
Oh, okay.
Bryce
You did.
Armstrong.
Cool.
I'm
You
sorry.
did.
Do you want me to say it again? Hi.
wicka.
My name is Bryce.
Hi, Bryce.
Who said that?
To that guy over there.
Oh,
Who
weird.
said that?
This is my name is Andrew McKinley.
Yeah.
Yummy. Yummy.
My name is Brett Welty.
My name is.
There is no snare in my headphones.
I do need more click track.
That's true.
I can't keep a cadence very well. Thank you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Thank you. Oh, you can turn it off now.
Oh, okay. You don't.
That was
want
the
entire
exact.
recording?
That was the exact tempo for Darude Sandstorm.
Are you talking about Desert Song?
No.
Oh,
What?
Yes.
it's an old worship song. Remember? Hill song.
Oh,
Desert song. I don't even. This is my prayer. Okay, we're gonna get copyright strike. Anyways,
Oh,
just
no.
kidding. They don't listen.
Why are we deleted off of Spotify?
I don't think they listen. I don't think they listen to any podcasts. Hillsong. That was a dig. That was a dig. It wasn't a very good one, but I try.
I mean,
I try my best.
You're insulting them as if they didn't listen to podcasts, but I don't listen to podcasts, so you're also
Because
insulting
listening
me.
to podcasts is kind of like learning.
Unless it's comedy.
I don't listen to podcasts at all. Ironically,
I would take you for a Joe Rogan guy.
I don't listen to a single. I mean, I watch clips,
Yeah.
so
I mean, that at least be
I-
the vein.
I'm
The
not
vein of
watching
podcast.
3 hours of
I
a podcast.
accidentally listen to them on
It's so
YouTube
long.
sometimes.
With
I
my
listen
eyes.
to our podcast when I'm editing it.
More than any of us combined.
Yeah, that's very true.
I started
20
listening to
minutes
it.
about the North American pseudoscorpion.
Let's bring it back. The remix.
20
Let's bring it back.
minutes, dude.
Throwback.
I think we could do another 20.
I'll sit in the background.
I'm not doing it again.
Doesn't have claws, it has ampules.
What's funny is we all get it, and no one else gets it.
That's
they didn't-
Because I took
Cut
it
the
off.
whole thing out.
That's a deep cut, and if you want that deep cut,
I'm not going to put it
we're gonna
anywhere.
put it on Patreon.
Link them to the
You can
Patreon.
subscribe to us and make this our job, please. We'll do it. We'll gladly accept the job.
We will.
love to
If
get
you
paid
want to
for
support us or on Buy Me a Coffee,
Yeah,
whatever you want.
you can support.
And then also on our links down there, you can click on Exiles because those are our 3 links.
you gotta put. I gotta put my Substack in there now
And then we'll have a 4th one apparently. Send it to me and
because
I'll
you'll
put it
see.
there.
You'll see the thought process of all the subjects come out there.
It's true.
No, because then they're going to get like a sneak peek.
It's okay. I want them to.
Please,
Oh, okay.
They won't get the whole thing.
Okay,
please
okay.
make
They'll
this
never get the
make
whole
money
thing.
for us.
They're never going to get the whole thing.
They'll never get the whole thing.
Because my butt is
So-
tired from sitting on the forklift.
I thought you were going to say these junky chairs. I'm like, I know. I'm working on it. I know.
I'll
we need
bring my
better
own
chairs.
chair. I want a beanbag.
I
So
I
want a water
So
bed.
when I'm editing, all I hear is
when folks, for those listening, when you get towards the end of the episode, just know that all of our butts are asleep.
I
Because
usually have
we are in
to
some
bath.
dining room table chairs right now.
yeah.
That's all right. But
No,
anyways,
no dig on you.
Hey, you're not hurting my
There's no dig. This is a
They
startup.
Were,
This is the
they were
space.
cheap as free, man.
This is a space.
And it's a great space.
We stole his homeschool table and chairs and nailed me
drilled
with
holes.
We bored
Holes in
4
the-
holes into it, then added a 5th guy.
But we did not drill a hole for
We
Jim.
did not drill a
No,
hole for
we
Jim.
didn't.
Yeah, that first episode, he didn't even have a mic stand.
He just held it.
They basically just slow jammed the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
Oh, it's
Anyways,
good
hey,
content.
how's everyone been?
Apparently, really ADHD.
I love it.
We also haven't all 4 been together in a long time.
Well,
It's been a hot minute.
seems
So
like,
clearly, as all of you are experiencing, our
Seems like-
chaos.
seems like a personal problem.
Yeah, with all of us.
Yeah,
Schedules.
Not me. Not me. I'm always around.
that's not true.
You come to
That's
my
not
house
true.
for dinner
I've been
tonight.
pretty busy.
Tonight?
No, tomorrow night.
Oh,
I am. Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
What kind of pizza you want?
no. No one ever agrees on pizza.
Gluten-free option.
Hey,
Maybe
like I said.
maybe a Hawaiian.
Hey, so
Oh, God.
we talked about that earlier.
speaking of gluten free, so we'll roll into how am I doing?
Oh yeah. You go first.
Wait,
Yeah.
are you gluten free now?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just look at me. Come on, man. I'm gluten full. So my wife
gluten.
was making a
My wife.
my wife. She was making a.
Like
So-
another piece.
She was making a. Naomi has to make this. She has the gluten free. All the she's got to make the egg casserole that has none of the stuff in it, right? And she did a great job.
Yeah.
And then she made it. And then we got to reading. Did you know not all sausage is gluten free?
Yeah.
Oh, some
I
of it
have
go-
found
yeah,
that out.
because some of the fillers are breadcrumbs.
I found that out. Or egg whites.
Yeah, so she put sausage on this was supposed to be gluten free. So I just told her to mark it gluten possible. So just make a sign that says gluten possible
That's
because we couldn't find the label. So we had no idea. Like
But
That-
the word,
hope-
that's
it's
the word
minimal.
gluten with a question mark behind it.
Gluten maybe
Gluten?
gluten possible. So that was a fun little thing that happened.
Oh, negative.
What?
So don't ask us to make
Oh,
your
I think it was great.
your food allergy
gone with
food
bacon.
because we could
it was
possibly
cooked out.
do a bad job. Well, not a bad.
Yeah, the gluten cooks off.
Yeah, exactly. See, it's just fine.
So
If you cook it long enough, it's burnt.
But yeah, no sausage.
There's no gluten
often
here.
has
Honest question.
breadcrumb fillers. Yeah.
Honest question: gluten intolerance. Like, is it? Do you need an EpiPen at some point? Does it ever get that bad, or like, what happens if you eat gluten and you're not supposed to?
I haven't.
Do you really want to know? Do you want me to say it on a recording?
No, I mean, is that all it is?
No.
It's bad.
It's bad.
Okay, well, that's not
Do you
good.
want
It's
to
just-
crap a brick of clay?
Well,
Because I
that's
think
what-
that's kind of what happens. Yeah.
Well, no, it's the opposite,
Oh, all right.
and it's also like the way it messes with your stomach.
Is it for a long time? Like, I'm hoping.
It's
I'm
like-
justifying to myself.
it's
I'm hoping that I did-
days.
Oh, I
And
feel bad.
it is
Maybe we should go.
the
find a
worst smell I've ever smelled in my life.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's worse than it's awful.
It's pretty,
Oh,
it's
okay.
pretty terrible.
Well, just maybe edit that out. Maybe edit all this out because
I've been Wikipediaing.
I don't know if I'm
all
selling my wife out. Or
No,
And
it's like
living- and
your
living
wife
it
did a
out.
killer job. You
Oh,
already
yeah,
said
that
that.
it was
great.
actually really good. We're actually gonna start making that. We're like, this is great for us. it's like delicious.
I love that for you.
Yeah, and it's gonna be for me.
But it had flavor.
Mhm.
That's good.
So that's how I'm doing.
Hi, Andrew. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. We got this big chain of like sick babies keeps going back and forth a little bit. We just got back from Colorado and one baby was sick, and then my wife was sick, then I was sick, and now the other baby's sick. Just kind of yeah.
Time
Pew, pew,
changes
pew.
and
Pew,
elevation.
pew, pew.
What I
Pew,
do.
pew, pew. Yeah, I was bitter about it too because like for like 4
We tried.
beautiful days I was not allergic to anything because in Colorado there's nothing I'm allergic
Yes.
to.
Yeah.
But then back in Iowa, like right away, stuffy nose.
You don't need to smell anything. Like your life is just fine without it.
Smells like my strongest
No.
sense. It's the only one I got left, man.
Oh, that's tough.
That's how I get around.
Can't
that stuff.
see,
Yeah.
can't feel.
If I plug my nose, I walk into walls. It's crazy.
You know, Ray Charles used to wear hard-soled shoes so he'd know when he was walking by,
Click. Yeah.
like a door. So he'd
Yeah,
know
he
to go
used
through it.
sonar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Neat.
You say things and I don't know if you're joking.
That one was real.
That one's real. Okay.
Yeah,
I can corroborate that
that
one.
one was supposed to like.
This one's
But
Yeah.
yeah, so we're dealing with like this is just tonight when he has a fever. So
Oh.
we gotta have her and Mama skip church tomorrow, and Eliza because I gotta play music, so I can't hang out with her the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never brought
Yeah. Bummer.
kids with fevers to church.
Yeah. Because
Ever.
we don't. We don't want to do that to everyone else.
Yeah, we never.
So
did.
she was in a mood tonight too. Winnie was not having it.
Shocker. She was in a mood. She was in a mood last night.
She's probably starting to not feel
Oh,
well
that's
last
fair.
night.
Who we
We
talking
just
about,
didn't-
Brittany?
Winnie.
No, Winnie.
Oh, Winnie.
Winnie.
He sounds like that is like. I was like, Winnie and Brittany sound a lot alike when you're not listening.
But yeah, so we got sick baby, and then we're doing we're pouring cement for a new patio slab in the back.
You're not pouring anything.
I say we, as in I hired Jose to do it, and he's an awesome dude, and I'm going to recommend him for everything because literally, like, I called him once. He's like, "Yeah, I'll put you on the list." He texted me like 4 hours later. He's like, "All right, I'm gonna come out tomorrow."
Short list.
And he's got a lot of contracts with the city because like they call him to do like the sidewalk replacements when people don't do them in time. So he's like, "Yeah, I know the paperwork. I'll do it." And so he's doing like the cracked stuff of the sidewalk in the front that needs to be repaired. And we're like, "Hey, by the way, let's just throw in a patio slab." And he's like, "Okay." And he was out the next day ripping up the old stuff and clearing the space. And now we're at like on Monday he's pouring.
Found
And then
an
we're done.
8x8 cistern.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
There's a big old hole in the yard. He texted me of the pictures like, "Did you know about this hole?" I was like, "I did not, sir. That was underneath the cement."
We didn't put it there.
You had a sinkhole?
We had a cistern, like a cemented
Yeah.
sewer drain kind of looking
Yeah.
thing. Yeah,
We've got one of those.
and ours was just covered by old patio.
Yep.
And so
Pretty cool.
I was like, "Is that a problem?" He's like, "No, we'll just put the old cement in there and fill it up with dirt and cover over it." I was
You're
like,
good.
"Cool."
Sweet.
So yeah. This guy's made this an extremely painless process than I thought it was going to be a big
Oh,
pain
I
in the
bet.
butt. So,
Good.
yeah, if you guys need cement work, talk to me about Jose.
I don't need cement work. I
Then don't talk to me about Jose. Go
Talk
away.
about something else.
Yeah, patio slab, sick baby, back from Colorado. Synopsis. Thank you.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Go Bryce, go.
Go,
Oh,
Bryce.
Bryce, go.
Go, Danny, go.
Danny, go, go.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, I thought we were doing Johnny Be Good.
No, Go, Danny, go is YouTube, and you don't have. Well, no, you have
It's-
one that's young enough.
I straight up thought you were talking about Michael J. Fox.
No.
It's Back to the Future.
Nope.
Dun, dun.
I tried to be
Uh,
relevant.
I'm good today. I had a rough week at work, but I'm good today. Once I leave work, my ADHD allows me to not think about it,
Sweet.
which is wonderful. But today was a good day. Got to hang out at the house, Actually, I did edit a podcast today. That's all I did outside of hanging out with the family. But yeah, it's a good day.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's cool.
How are you?
Oh, I'm all right. I'm doing great. Sold
Are
my
you
house.
all right, or are you
Sold my house. So currently we do have a GoFundMe because I am homeless. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. But if you want to send money, you can send it, and I'll send it back. But yeah, we sold our house, and now we just have to go look for another one.
You should have been doing that kind of already.
We have been, and they've all been freaking duds.
Hmm.
Because for some reason Sioux City has the biggest amount of pigs with lipstick on. If you know what I'm saying,
I understand.
they make it look good, and then all of a sudden you walk in and it's like a clogged toilet in a way. So, just terrible. It's terrible on the pipes. Terrible on the pipes of my mind. So, this is what I've been
That
doing.
was deep. That was
Yeah.
a deep.
I'm trying to be a better storyteller.
Like underground, man.
Right deep underground, like plumbing.
Like the pipes.
The
pipes, mentally.
Clogged mental pipes. So,
More tubes than the internet.
or in my heart,
Oh.
or in my heart valves. Well, hopefully not that one, but I guess we'll find out when I get older.
You'll be wearing diapers in 10 years, so.
Sometimes I feel like I need to now, but that's
too real.
you know, the older you get. I'm only 30. I'm like the youngest person here right now.
youngest person in this room.
Anyways, hey, Andrew's got a thing,
Yeah. Okay.
a beginning
So-
bit, a day of the week.
So if all goes according to plan, this will come out on November 12th.
Sure.
Correct?
I don't know.
12th.
So we always like
Sure.
to find an obscure holiday that
That's the day we vote.
No, it's
actually?
not.
Just kidding.
Hey,
Voting will have happened.
It's already happened.
that's late voting.
Congratulations for all of you that are listening. And I'm sorry for all of you that are listening.
So
I was like,
Whatever.
Whatever happens,
here are
I'm so happy for you. And I'm
some of the holidays that we didn't pick.
Ooh.
Diabetic Eye Disease Awareness Month.
please, why not that one?
These are the issues.
Is that your
people
dad?
want.
Oh, no, he's got
No,
glaucoma.
that's glaucoma, dude.
This
and
one-
arthritis.
This one I
and
was
gout.
I was like, maybe Brandon celebrates this one as Fancy Rat Mouse Day.
Me?
Like now
He's going
he's like,
to.
now I'm
I
gonna
might have to. Wait, what was it called?
Fancy Rat Mouse Day.
Huh.
What
You
is-
like rats?
what's rat mouse?
Hey,
Go look it up, man. I
rat
don't know.
mouse. Sounds
National
like cat dog.
National French Dip Day.
I go.
Ooh.
I go French.
Is that a sandwich or is that a stupid French person? I don't know.
I celebrate both privately.
We do have listeners in France, but sure.
They're not
We-
stupid for listening to us.
But
This would make them smart ones.
World Pneumonia Day.
is that the one we're
What?
doing?
That's not really
No.
celebrating.
No, we're gonna do
Darn it.
National Pizza with the Works except Anchovies Day.
What?
Tell me that's
Yeah.
that's the whole name.
That's the whole
What?
name. National Pizza
Come
with the
on.
Works except Anchovies Day.
We couldn't do
can see it right
pneumonia or the rat mouse one.
Actually, that is my
Oh.
favorite kind of pizza.
You know how hard it is to find trivia on Fancy
The one
Rat
with-
Mouse?
The one without anchovies.
Well, I don't ever. I celebrate it.
That's a lie.
I celebrate anchovies privately.
Cherries, pepperoni, and green olive.
Sheesh.
That is a good one.
Nothing can touch that.
I would tell you the best.
Three.
I very 0% like that one.
Well,
'Cause of the green
your
olives.
taste buds suck. So,
Hey,
I do have the palate of a 10-year-old.
yep, like I said,
I mean,
and I have a 10-year-old, so
I do enjoy pineapple on my pizza.
I don't even.
We had that conversation.
Yeah, we
This-
did.
This is like a whole text.
Oh my
I'm glad.
gosh.
I'm glad it's all
Conversation.
coming back together.
You're so dumb.
Seriously, if they could
I
just,
was
like,
I was sitting at work judging you for
Hey,
hours
so
that
hard.
they
day.
need to just do canned like
What's new?
canned pineapple bits, but instead of pineapple in its own juice, it's pineapple in marinara sauce. You just eat that.
It's like a bad.
No, because it's
smoothie.
cold. Because it.
warm
Oh,
it
because it's
up.
better hot.
Yes. Have you been?
Okay,
What's that place called?
Oh, you're talking about the Sioux Falls, yeah.
Give them the wrong place.
Carnival.
Carnival,
Carnival.
yeah.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
pineapple.
I know.
That pineapple's
Warm
Grilled-
pineapple.
grilled
Not on pizza.
Still
slap.
warm.
They should put cinnamon on it.
Oh, that's a good idea. I love
Cinnamon,
cinnamon.
cinnamon,
I love cinnamon.
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 So
Yeah,
we're
wait,
gonna
okay,
do
yes, go
pizza.
ahead.
We're gonna do pizza trivia.
I'm gonna
I
mop
love-
up. I'm
we're
gonna
gonna-
mop
I
up.
love pizza.
I'm gonna
So
mop up.
we're gonna go way back too. So
To
before pizza, there was flatbread.
Eh.
That predates it. They still make flatbread.
Yeah.
Eh.
It's like a throwback.
So the flatbread is often considered to be the progenitor of the pizza. Which
That means before.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I was gonna ask.
Translation.
so
Translation.
what-
Pro meaning
what
before.
country did flatbread start in?
France.
No. Italy.
Germany.
It's Italy. If it's not Italy, I'm gonna walk out.
Egypt.
Oh,
Oh, that makes sense.
They're dead.
you know who else is from Egypt?
Did you say they're dead?
There's no Egyptian.
The Egyptians don't exist anymore.
Egypt, I think, is still around, but it's mostly like
Same.
Why do you think they call it ancient Egypt?
Oh.
Well.
How many slices of pizza do Americans eat per second? Now I think we
Per
should
second?
we should
Second?
we should modify it to North Americans because I don't think they're counting.
Are you saying like it's just there's a number and then they divide it by?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So per second, like how many slices of pizza
3.
are getting eaten in America?
3.
in North America per second.
3.
I'm saying 6.
I'll take 10.
350.
That's so much pizza. That's so much pizza. Why do we not own a pizzeria? That's insane.
Yeah.
So that's like 24 pizzas
A sec.
a second.
That's insane.
That's
But it makes
crazy.
sense.
Yeah,
Let's measure it in a more obscure way.
Okay, perfect.
How many acres worth of pizza do Americans eat each day?
Like Americans?
How many acres?
Oh my goodness! How do you extract? This is like some sort of like weird like personality test where it's like, now you know one thing. And
No.
what is the big?
12.
No,
Way
hundreds,
more. Way
hundreds,
more.
thousands of acres. I bet you it's 1,000 acres a day.
You went a little heavy, but,
Okay, well,
but I appreciate the
didn't- I didn't
enthusiasm.
say
Yeah, go for it.
12.
No, I'm gonna go under. I'll give another number then.
745.
I was gonna go 500.
Less than that, 100 acres of pizza. But that's still like
Step
a
up your
decent-
game,
That's
America.
a decent sized farm.
I was closer
So
than
so
both
think of that
So
like
that was still a lot.
a
I just
really
said
a really successful farmer His entire land is just pizza. We're eating one of those every
Great.
day.
That's
That
awesome.
sounds great.
That's a lot of pizza.
But what kind of pizza? Okay.
The works minus the anchovies, obviously.
Oh yes, yes, you're right.
So not including the small percentage of Americans who don't eat pizza, which is
Who?
Weirdo.
I don't really think we should count them as Americans, but
It's true.
they're on the list.
They're probably Italian.
Of these people though, of the true
They're probably French.
red-blooded
True
American
patriots.
patriots,
True patriots.
how many eat pizza at least once a month?
Oh.
At least once a month.
Are we talking a number or percentage?
Percentage, sorry, yeah, percentage.
Of Americans?
98.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah. 96%.
95.
Y'all are real close. 93.
I was closest. Suckers. Just kidding.
You gotta remember those Americans are sometimes going on crazy diets.
Right. I
Eating
did.
gluten-free
do like that.
pizza.
I cut pizza in college. And it was awful. Because I lost a ton of weight. That part was great.
Maybe.
But then I went back to eating pizza, so I got it all back. Don't
I
worry.
eat pizza.
I found
like,
it.
I eat pizza like once a week.
It's so good.
So I love it.
Does a calzone count?
Yeah, it's just a folded pizza.
It's like a,
Oh,
Don't.
here we go.
I
Is
shouldn't
it-
even
is
ask
it a
you. Hey,
sandwich?
Brent, does a calzone count?
do you
Pizza.
Thank you.
do you want like a full can
No.
of worms dumped on your computer right now? Because that's what you're asking.
No.
Um,
Take it back.
let's move on.
is it like a sandwich?
Let's move on.
Shut up.
Speaking of, so I've got a,
Deep cut.
Speaking
Call
of
back.
sandwiches,
Call back. Call back.
a court in Indiana just ruled that a taco is a sandwich.
Oh.
And I almost lost my mind.
Granted, Indiana.
I think it was in.
They're-
I gotta look it
They're
up.
just
Oh
trying
my
to get
god.
God.
news.
they're. I mean, yeah,
Oh.
It's trying to get
they're flying in the
so. I
face
think
of,
They must
of
have heard our podcast.
selfish,
Step in and handle it.
self-respecting sandwich eaters everywhere.
the governor of.
I am
Indiana.
not saying that tacos are a bad food. I love tacos, but they are not a sandwich.
They're not a sandwich. They don't even look like a sandwich.
Like another court said, it has to be between two slices of bread.
I don't even know where this is. Allen County Superior Court
Cheers.
Judge Craig Bobe.
Please, obvious. Okay.
He's
and
obviously trying to
and Quintana versus Fort Wayne Planned Commission.
What a waste!
What?
What a waste
Fort
of.
Wayne, Indiana. I got family in
it
Fort
is-
Wayne.
yeah.
What a
Yeah.
waste
I'm
of
disappointed.
freaking
How have you
government
not heard
money.
about this already?
I don't know. I'm a little disappointed. I'm going to have to call my wife's grandma and be like, what are you guys doing over there? Vote better.
However, not all judges have ruled that tacos are sandwiches. For example, a judge in Massachusetts ruled that tacos are not
What?
sandwiches
Okay.
to allow a chain restaurant to open.
Don't we?
Why would that matter?
Don't we have better things to be like going to court for?
It's
No.
apparently so restaurants can open based off of
So
that
st-
one sentence.
Get out of here! Get out of here! That's why no one lives
I
there.
think that has to do like sandwich shops have different health codes than other restaurants.
Yeah.
Depending
Wash
on
your
whether they're-
tables.
Whether they're assembled by hand in front of you or not, or something like that.
Like Subway, eat
Yeah.
fresh-ish.
Ish.
So I have a question now that's similar to a question we had on Sandwich Day.
Ooh,
In that we're talking about the most expensive pizza that is a regularly available menu item from a place.
Oh, I see.
But this one does require a scheduled event. They can't just do it. You got to call ahead of time and set it up. But it's still something that you can order just about any time.
Okay.
So the most expensive pizza in the world, it's called the Louis the 13th pizza. It takes 72 hours. How much does one pizza cost?
$300.
Are we talking pounds? Because that seems
What's
like it's,
on it?
That seems like a
Oh, that's a
UK
good
thing.
I think let me see.
A boar's head.
The entire head, bone and all.
Oh,
Well, I don't know if it's Louis the
Tusks.
15th or whatever. I mean, isn't that
guys,
doesn't it need to be a head on there somewhere?
Okay, so we've got
I got
that guy was a monster.
Wasn't that Henry VIII?
They were all bad
They're all, yeah.
except for Queen Victoria and Queen what's her name?
Elizabeth.
There it is.
so it's got a spread of mozzarella di bufala,
Whatever.
Oh,
a cheese made out of milk collected from domestic Italian buffaloes.
naturally,
Gives the pizza a signature moist, chewy, and cheesy touch.
Stop.
naturally,
Stop.
Moist.
all the words.
Lobster meat prepared and flamed with cognac.
Oh, interesting.
Um,
I'd have gone cognac.
Mediterranean shrimp,
I'm not a Kodiak.
Australian pink salt, and
Klondike bar.
I also would have gone Himalayan sea salt.
Yeah.
That's weird. Got a lot of decisions here.
the sauce includes cognac, champagne, and brandy.
Oh,
Jeez.
Remy Martin cognac.
Wow.
Champagne
Remy,
Cru
like-
Clos du Mesnil from 1995.
Is this like, how big is
Or-
this pizza?
I think it's like just a large pizza.
okay.
I'm
so
hating
I'm
this. The
I'm
more you
still
talk,
sticking
the more I
$300.
hate this.
I'm still sticking with $300.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 5.
Okay, where's it made?
Let's see. Renato Viola is.
I think I just looked over and saw the price. That is, if that was the number, that's just gonna blow your mind.
Yeah, you did see it.
So dumb.
2,000 pounds.
So it's from Salerno, a coastal city in Italy. It's like a
2,000 euros.
Is there meat on it?
lobster and
lobster?
and
Boar's
shrimp.
head.
Yeah, it doesn't even
Ugh.
sound good.
Sounds horrible.
Two.
Well, you haven't tried it yet.
Okay.
I mean, I'll try anything once.
You're
but
not
it
gonna try
sounds
this when you
good.
hear the price.
Well, you're right because I'm poor.
5,000 pounds or euros.
Still close. Or than
I said
me.
500.
500.
Yeah.
So
I'm out. I
in
saw it.
American dollars, $12,000.
Shut up.
See, that's what I told you. I was like, it's the dumbest amount of money I've ever heard.
Who lives like this?
I don't know.
Oh.
Could you imagine, like,
No.
flying there, buying it, eating it, then telling everybody you ate there?
And then being glad you did that.
Yeah, and then like not being embarrassed.
Wow.
Yeah. So
No.
that makes me want to go into a deep theological discussion.
That
about
that really instills anger in me,
yeah.
and that's what we're talking.
Wow.
That's what we're talking about tonight.
Oh, look what you did there. Look what you did.
Are we transitioning already? Or are we?
Do you have other questions?
I've got so many. How many more you want to do?
Give me one more.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get one.
The best
Oh,
one.
okay. We might have to do a part A and part B for this one
I
then.
like.
So what is
I'm
this?
trying to see if I can, there was a way I could escape.
Because
There's
this this is like a softball question. What is the most popular pizza topping in the United States?
Pepperoni.
Pepperoni.
Yeah. All right. So what's number 2 on the list?
Sausage.
Yeah, you got it. All right. That's. You
That
guys
was
want to
like-
stop
I think-
there?
Give us something a little bit
okay.
more.
What
than,
percentage of Americans eat pizza and not breakfast pizza necessarily, just pizza for breakfast?
with any
What percentage of
regularity?
Americans?
45%.
Cold or hot? Or does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
45%.
Just
Yeah.
pizza for breakfast.
I'm gonna say 53.
Who
like-
like they just consider pizza a fine breakfast food?
No,
53.
I'd say 64%.
I think you guys went a little heavy on that, which I appreciate. 36.
Huh.
36%. Yeah.
What ifs?
What are you gonna
That really instills anger in me. Okay.
do? I'm still angry about.
Oh, I got one more. I got it.
Oh,
Give it to us.
All right. Oh, this one's just more of a fact than a question, but we'll do it as a true false, and you guys will guess it.
False.
True.
True or false? A pizza was delivered to an astronaut while in orbit.
True.
I've
think that is
actually
true.
heard that, yeah.
Pizza Hut becomes the first company in history to deliver
Ew.
pizza to residents living in outer space.
Who lives
And yet, NASA trapped some people there recently.
And guess who had to save him?
Elon Musk.
I hope you listen to our podcast, Elon.
He gets around.
They caught a rocket out of the air.
That's pretty crazy.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah. It's pretty sweet.
He might actually be worth the money.
I think he might be Bruce Wayne.
That'd be amazing.
That imply that.
Where are my flying cars, Bruce?
Maybe he's the Antichrist.
Whoa. Nope. Too many people hate him.
Yeah, too many people don't like him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Hold
not how
on.
that works.
Hold on.
He's not that cute.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that add anger to my life. Just kidding.
Oh yeah, we do you want to get into the topic?
let's do
Should
it.
we get into the topic?
Let's
Yeah.
do.
So I need a good storyteller here.
Oh,
Andrew.
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 what am I
We're
doing?
gonna tell.
What am I
We're gonna talk. It's at the beginning.
Oh yeah. I
We're
can
gonna
do it.
tell a story today to get into our topic.
All right, talking about anger. There was a snake that crawled over a sharp saw and was cut. In anger, the snake wrapped the saw with its thick body and proceeded to squeeze the life out of the saw. With each angry squeeze, it felt more pain but continued because it wasn't going to let that saw get away with the pain it caused it. The snake, refusing to let go of the saw, eventually died, not knowing the whole time he needed to let go of the initial pain and focus on its future and where it was going. Instead, the snake unfortunately lost its life and didn't even see it coming. Control your anger, forgive those that hurt you, and don't give people or things power over you. It can eventually kill you. Yoshi Matsumoto.
I saw. So when we were thinking about, when I was thinking about the next topic to talk about, I saw this story. Well, I saw the picture of a snake wrapped around a saw on Substack, and so I read the initial comment, and I read it, and I was just like, yes, this is a great subject right now. Because when we were recording this, we're about 2 weeks out of an election,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of anger going around.
Mm-hmm.
And there's I think there's just a lot of anger in general in our current hyper emotional society, I would say.
Apple versus Android.
Yes, exactly. PS2 versus Xbox. Wait, what?
Seems like a reference I would make.
I'm just trying to relate here. But no, I think anger can fester inside of our minds to where it has a bodily effect on us, and we can't let go of something that someone did. I know I can't. I have a hard time letting go of when people wrong me, or like my wife or my friends or something like that. Like, I get very upset, and I have a really, really hard time letting go. And I can tell when it's just stewing on my mind for weeks, months, years, that it's almost like when you come out of that trance, you're like, where have I been? And like, what have I done? Like, why have I held on? Why have I let this small situation that I could just let go of just run my life? You know? And Mark Twain would say, anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. Or
just like Head and Shoulders.
Just like Head and Shoulders. That does not get rid of your
head or your shoulders.
Or your shoulders. Not even dandruff. So
But knees or toes.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Eleanor Roosevelt would also say that anger is only one letter short of danger. Very interesting, right?
She can write.
She can write.
She can spell.
But it's kind of interesting.
It is interesting.
Like, it is probably dangerous to hold on to anger. There's a lot of negative outcomes when you give full vent to your anger, right?
Like, I'm angry right now that you made me read the words thick body.
I'm sorry.
Earlier in this paragraph.
I apologize. But no, anybody have any thoughts on our subject tonight?
Andrew's like straight up looked right at me. Like it's just assumed I'm going next.
You always do. You always do. That's usually how it goes.
You moved in your seat the way you do when you're
You
about
did,
to-
and
You
you
do.
adjusted your microphone.
Oh,
You're getting ready.
You have body language
Oh,
that we
do I?
all
I
recognize.
had no idea.
We
I had
can
no idea.
read you like an open
I wasn't
book.
even thinking I was going to start. I think I was just getting ready.
I mean, we're not even mad about it. So.
I'm glad to know. What was the question?
Um,
I was so busy.
some thoughts. Anger.
Yeah. I like that quote about from Mark Twain. I also heard a quote one time about bitterness that bitterness is drinking poison and expecting it to kill somebody else. So stuff like that is out there. People talk like that, but I think that is it in there. Dude, what notes are you reading? I don't see any of that.
It's right below the Mark Twain quote.
Dude, I straight look at my thing. I don't have it.
Yeah, mine's
I-
blank too.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
don't have
Hey,
it. So
that's great.
I do.
So needless
and that's
to
the one
say-
I was talking about, the comment that he put in there.
oh,
It's by the Buddha.
oh,
It's Buddha.
is it really?
Yeah, it's by the Buddha.
Yes.
Oh, no kidding.
Anger is like drinking poison, expecting the other person to die.
Yeah, I've heard it
Yeah.
so many places. I didn't know where
Which
it was
that's true. I'm glad we read that.
Yeah, well, it's extra funny because I don't
Yeah.
have it in my notes.
It was just weird.
That's which is like the only quote I would know. But anyway,
Yeah.
I think so. The thing you said about anger and this time, I think is true, but I think it's also just true generally. Anger is something that I think all humanity, all people just deal with all the time. It's just so pervasive. I think it's really one of the type of sinful reactions that we have that I think is just incredibly universal. Like not everybody will struggle with every sin, but it would seem like anger seems to be a category of sin or a response to stimuli that is very common to the human condition. I mean, think about Proverbs, you'd already quoted Proverbs 29, a fool gives full vent to his spirit. And there's just so many other texts that you can look at.
Oh, yeah.
And which I'm sure we'll get to, but my general thought is like I think it's a really good. So we're going to talk about anger, righteous anger. We're going to talk. I mean, so I'm really interested in having that conversation because I don't know what I think about righteous anger. I think depending on how you just define it would determine how. I just think anger needs to be on a very very short leash for anyone that's not Jesus.
Yeah.
So,
No, yeah.
which is where we're going, which is where
Yeah.
because I'm very interested in that. Because what I noticed was when I did some research on some text today, I'm thinking about James 1:19 that says, the anger of man does not equal or does not generate the righteousness of God. So anger there is definitely an anger that I think most of us deal with that is sinful and wrong and does not accomplish anything of any merit or value. And then there's this other smaller category of righteous anger, which I don't even know how. Anyway, but yeah, I just think anger it's just everywhere.
Yeah. Well, it's something, like you said, it's something that all people deal with in some form. I think other people are more bent to be more angry. I would say I've grown up that way. I've been bent to be very emotional and very quick to speak, slow to become angry kind of thing. Like I'm very fast to become angry. And it's just, that's the thing I struggle with a lot. I struggle with the most, probably.
Me too.
And so
It's my biggest sin.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Because it's like, I feel like in the moment, I feel like someone has done me wrong.
Yep.
And I have been taught in my life that if someone does you wrong, you get back at them. You don't
Beat 'em
let it go. Or you beat them up, or you talk down to them, or you backbite them,
Yeah.
or you hold that grudge.
Or you do something to make them look horrible.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's
Yep.
doesn't seem to line up to the way that Jesus calls us to be or to act. And when you talk about righteous anger, I don't see how we could ever fully do that well.
Agreed.
So I think we can. I think we'll talk about that more, obviously. But the more and more I look at it, it just seems like maybe let me ask you this as well. Do you think our world glamorizes some sort of anger in a way, or they see it as a virtue?
Yeah. I mean, especially like if you think about, let's say, someone cheats on their spouse.
Mhm.
You look at any Hollywood movie, that movie makes you cheer for the spouse that was cheated on to get any revenge that they want on the spouse that cheated on them.
Yeah.
And you're cheering for them because you want them to get even.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It is glorified.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Anger basically comes back to worship of self.
Mm-hmm.
You can't think I've been wronged without thinking I deserve better than the situation I'm in.
Yeah.
I deserve better treatment than what I've been given.
Yeah.
Whether or not the person that wronged you is in the right or not is less important than you desiring to be treated well. When we're in a fallen world, we have all done enough disobeying God to not deserve anything good.
Yeah.
We all deserve hell. We've all
Yep.
done enough to deserve hell, and it's God's grace that we get better than that here and now.
Yeah.
So to say I've been wronged, to say I need to be treated better than that, is to say that myself is important enough to be treated better. That's the reason that anger is a sin that pretty much everybody deals with, is because self-worship is a thing that everyone deals with.
Yeah.
That was kind of the first sin. What did Adam and Eve want when they ate the apple or the fruit? They wanted godhood. They wanted to be equal to God.
They wanted to make the call.
Yeah, they decided that they deserved to be equal to God, to have the same knowledge.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the first sin.
Like it, yeah.
And
Were you going to the Cain and Abel part?
that's kind of where it goes next, is
Yeah.
that's outside of the garden. Anger was the thing that caused the murder. You know, it was jealousy, which is just a different kind of anger.
Yeah.
To say, I deserve the same kind of favor that my brother gets.
Uh-huh.
It all comes back to worship of self.
Yeah.
And so
Agreed.
you can't feel wronged without feeling that you deserve better.
Yeah. Was it Ephesians 4:26 through 32? It says, and don't sin by letting anger control you. Don't let the sun go down while you are still angry, for anger gives a foothold to the devil. If you are a thief, quit stealing. Instead, use your hands to do good work. And then if you go and then give generously to others in need. Go down to verse 31. It says, get rid of all bitterness, rage, anger, harsh words, and slander, as well as all types of evil behavior. Instead, be kind to each other, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, just as God, through Christ, has forgiven you. So it said, and it seems that anger gives something to the devil. It gives foothold.
Gives a purchase.
Yes. So it's like when we are angry, it seems, and correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm being a little too hyperbolic in some ways, but like anger seems to open a door to something else inside of us. Maybe our natural human tendencies to hurt one another, to get even with one another, instead of being righteous, like we're called, even with Christians. We seem to get angry at a pastor for saying something that we might not agree with, and so instead of going and talking with that pastor, what do we do instead? We backbite. We try to have them like, there has to be someone else around here that agrees with me, right? And then that just festers bitterness and anger.
Yep.
To the point where it causes division.
I mean, it's not even just a pastor who says something. It's somebody.
Anybody.
Somebody says something about something you don't like, or they did something that you disagree with. You will do anything to get them on your side. And I say you, and I'm talking about me.
Yeah.
Because I've done that more times than I want to admit.
Yes. No, I mean, me too.
No, I'm not offended by any means.
No, I know. I'm not saying it. I wasn't pointing at you, but I'm like, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay, it was you. But
Well, I love you.
I was just kidding. No. But
I think all sin grows, but I think in Ephesians 4, it does seem like there's some connection between anger and the growth of anger
Yeah.
to be quick.
It just seems like anger is the one that starts to other sins, right?
It's the thing that we use to justify behavior afterwards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry I did that. I was angry.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
That is a really good point.
Yeah, I've tried that.
We kind of give that as leave to go about out of control. Say, hey, I did that thing because I was angry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Basically saying like it could be anything from saying something hurtful, damaging property, violence.
Mm.
It could
Yeah.
be
Those last two you can go to jail for.
yeah,
Right.
but it doesn't change the fact
Doesn't
that
matter.
people will often just say, I did it because I was angry. I wasn't
Yeah.
in control of myself.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that any of them are good. But
You're right, though. It becomes like, it's like the point, like you can't cross it. Like that's just the constant. Like I was angry. I can't talk about the fact that I was angry or that the anger was wrong, but it's almost like that sentence is, it's not wrong for me to be angry, but it was wrong for me to act the way I did.
Mhm.
And I think the Bible would say it's also wrong to be angry. And I think that's a key distinction between us and the world is we all have anger.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the constant. But we don't get, as Christians, the ability to say, well, please forgive me for what I did when I was angry, because everybody gets angry. Everybody's angry. We're all angry. You get it. I get it. So I shouldn't have done those things, but it's not my fault that I'm angry. But in reality, like Ephesians 4 says, like, be angry and do not sin. Like, you can't sin with, I mean, it's just not gonna run.
It's one of those weird spots where it's like, it's hard to, I don't want to say that like feeling things can be a mistake. Like it's like, hey, how dare you feel that? 'Cause I don't think we have that kind of control, but I think that they can be indicators, a litmus test, so to speak, of other things we need to deal with.
Yeah.
If you do feel anger a lot, that means that your heart's got some work to do.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily like, hey, you're wrong for feeling this in this moment right now. It's more of, hey, the fact that you're getting angry means that there's something else you need to work on.
Yeah.
Most
it.
likely, again, worship of self.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I mean, usually when you get angry, you're doing something with that anger that is sinful.
Now, I do want to differentiate. Feeling anger, I could say, is not necessarily like the wrong thing to do in and of itself. What you do with the anger afterwards
Yeah.
is.
I mean, God gave us feelings.
Yeah.
No, yeah, of course. Well, it's like, for example, with that, it's like you hear about different kinds of wars or just regular, like just injustices that are happening. We shouldn't be neutral about that. Like that should stir us to feel something, right? Like you're like, no, that's wrong. That could be that righteous anger sliver. That's just after that initial thing, like acknowledgement, like this makes me very upset, and like
I think it's okay to be angry that abortion is legal so many
Yes.
places.
100%. That
That's-
should bother us.
That's a thing that we're basically, you can be upset that murder is allowed as long as it's a baby.
Yeah.
That's a thing to be angry about.
Yeah.
Don't firebomb an abortion clinic for it.
No.
Don't
No, you're right.
don't do
You're right.
things that are also sins to try and like fight sin with sin, fire with fire.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Yeah.
But if you feel anger because of an injustice, that is righteous anger.
Yeah.
That's where it comes in. It's not as common as the other one.
Yeah.
Try not to mix them up.
Well, it seems like we should be addressing our anger quickly rather than stewing on it.
And one of the wisest things I've heard about anger is to respond and not react.
Yeah.
Which could sound like two versions of the same word, but it is to actually stop and think before the next move.
Yeah. Well, and pride gets in the way of getting things done when it comes to like someone doing something wrong to us. It's
How dare they?
yeah, or it's like I have to look like the weak one for not for not reacting to someone that hurt me. I have to let it go and move on and give it to the Lord, because in my own hands I will destroy it. I will destroy relationships through my anger. I will burn bridges to friendships, to it could lead like from marriages, like it starts with anger towards one another, it seems, and then it leads to something worse and worse and worse, and then it just gets messier and messier, and yeah, it just seems like a snowball effect of what could happen.
I agree with you. So looking at in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 11, it says, take no part in unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them. So even to Andrew's point about pointing out, abortion and other just sinful, dark things of the world. So, and I think righteous anger for injustice, those are good things. I think that would be the part of righteous anger. But it would seem that unchecked anger leads only to wrath, malice, bitterness. There's no good end to that. There's no, as James 1 says, there's no righteous ending to sinful anger. And if that is the case, then to your point about what you said about forgiving and moving on, the world would say, why are you being a doormat?
Yes.
Why are you being a doormat? Why are you so willing to let that person walk all over you? And those are some of the ways that I think we allow the world into our lives in unhelpful ways, because the Bible is very countercultural in that way. It is bearing with one another, forgiving one another. I mean, you read it already. Verse 32 of chapter 4 of Ephesians, be tenderhearted, forgiving one another. Why? As God in Christ forgave you. So those who have been forgiven of much should forgive much. And it is an affront to our Savior to say, God, you're no longer holding anything against me. You're a holy, just, perfect God. Every one of my sins requires punishment and, frankly, damnation. And an eternity in hell. That's what I've earned by my actions. And you've washed all that clean by the blood of Christ. But Andrew said something that hurt my feelings yesterday, and I'm really mad at him. I mean, that shouldn't jive for us.
No.
That shouldn't be normal and okay, because we would, in sackcloth and ashes, say, if God treated me like that, I would have no hope for salvation, no hope for eternity other than hell.
Yeah.
And yet we have to say, well, I was wronged, and they hurt my feelings, or they made me look bad, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we've been forgiven. We've been given the keys to the kingdom, and we can't get over something as simple as, well, you know what they said about, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be as common as it is. But
Did
to
I actually
Andrew's
hurt
point,
your feelings?
never.
Never. Here's a question too.
I'll try.
Okay.
Have you
good luck.
Have you heard this saying? I'm angry and I need my time to be angry.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I've heard people say I need to vent. That's another one where people try to like, I need to vent
But
my anger.
okay, if I need to vent my anger, that means I need to gossip
Correct.
and I need to talk bad about it,
Right.
so I can get it out of my system, which will not get out of your system.
Right.
No, it's
Just
only
feeds it.
good.
It's
It's only
adding
gonna
it to other
fester
people.
and grow.
It adds it to other people's systems.
Yeah.
Right.
It becomes a gang mentality.
Yeah.
When you're angry at someone, you want someone else to be angry with you, and you're going to convince them as much as possible to be angry with you because your apparent anger is just,
Mhm.
but it's not.
Right.
And like I said, I'm speaking to myself. If I had a mirror, I'd be speaking to myself. But at some point in time, you have to look back. It's like, not everyone's at fault, right? Maybe there's something in me.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe there's something deep rotting inside of my heart that I am constantly being upset and angered by somebody. Instead of trying to find a life of peace and letting go of those things to become more like Christ and to have like better relationships with the people that we get to like have a privilege to be around. Like, what's going on inside of me,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's something I have to think of constantly when I feel like I'm being wronged. I'm like, okay, is it just me, or is there actually something wrong going on here? Like, I think asking yourself questions in moments of tension. I'm like, okay, let me just look. Like, let me pull myself back, not to vent, but to go to God and say, God, did I do something that I need to make right?
Mm-hmm.
Did I do something that I need to make right with you? I'm like, or is this not me? Like, is it just because this person's broken just as much as I am?
If we have security in Christ, we don't have to get even because God doesn't get even with us.
No.
Yep.
And I think you're right. I think everything you said is spot on. And what I think is radical about the Christian life is we're commanded to forgive and to bear. And, you know, I think of texts like 1 Peter 4, love covers a multitude of sins.
Yeah.
You know, or in, you know, actually in Ephesians chapter 4, Paul starts that section with the sisters of salvation, unity and peace.
Yeah.
Like that's what he's all these things he's writing about in chapter 4 and 5 are ways to create more unity and peace in the body. And the way you do that is being realistic. We are all sinners. We all are going to get angry, and people are going to get angry at us. People are going to say things to us that are harmful and hurtful.
Yeah.
And the highest priority from a biblical perspective is unity and peace in the body. It's not, I need to be vindicated. I need to be made right. I need to be made whole. In theory, you've been made whole in Christ, which means you can endure if somebody says something or does something that you don't like. And frankly, it is an honor to be able to bear with someone and say, okay, well, we just need to let that go.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
That's the beauty of the backwards kingdom of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Is that we don't throw people to the side. Sometimes we're going to have to bear harder with one another.
Mm-hmm.
And like Psalms 37 verse 8 and 9, it says, stop being angry, turn from your rage, Do not lose your temper. It only leads to harm. For the wicked will be destroyed, but those who trust in the Lord will possess the land. Like, your anger is going to kill you,
Mm-hmm.
at least spiritually, or even like physically.
You can make an
Oh,
argument
man.
that bitterness kills people physically.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
carrying that stuff.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, all it, yeah.
your body. It's almost like your
carrying
body
the
breaks
shoulders.
down.
Yeah, it destroys your body.
Your health.
Yeah.
Like, just-
Maybe that's why I have so many health problems.
Doubtful. I be your failing kidneys.
That's fair.
They are spongy.
They're
They're
spongy.
pretty spongy.
Have you seen them lately?
yes.
Not recently, no.
The other thing I wanted to add to the conversation
Yep.
is we also need to be talking about like legitimate sins,
Yeah.
not
Right.
personality
Or
and preference.
hypotheticals.
Right. Well, I mean, like not personality and preference. So I don't get along with that person.
Yeah.
So I'm already predisposed.
Our enneagrams don't line up. Right? Our Myers Briggs
Yeah.
personality types
Yeah.
don't go. No,
Right. We're just oil and water. Right. So that's a
Yeah.
a personality thing or a preference thing. Like
Yeah.
I like this or I like that or I want my I can't even think of a good example off the fly, but
No.
like something that is not a command. So again, I think we should shrink the number of things in our minds that are actually like times that we're sinned against.
Yeah.
Like if someone has a strong take on my parenting, that's not a sin issue. Because what does the Bible say about parenting? Discipline your kids and raise them in the instruction of the Lord. That's it. So whether you do time out or you do this or you do that or you educate them this way or whatever, there's 1,000 things that are preferential that are not sinful. And those are the areas where I think people get harmed the most because it's not like you're coming to me and saying, Brett, you committed murder. Well, duh, I need to repent for murder. That's a sin. I murdered somebody.
Yeah.
But what we're saying is something that's not a sin issue, but it's a preference thing, and I'm all twisted because my preferences mean as much to me as commands do. And then someone says something, and that's, I think, the real area where this comes into play because it's not a sin issue. How I raise my kids and how I educate them or any other hot button item that people have, that's a preference thing. It's not a sin thing.
Yep.
So if I'm not sinning and you're not sinning, first of all, just don't say it. Unwanted advice is criticism. Like if someone asks, then give the opinion. Like no one's asking me. So guess what? I'm not telling you. I believe in that because who cares what I think? I mean, I don't think you should ask me, but if you do, I'll tell you. But that's a preference thing. Like we're not talking about sin stuff, but I think that the anger comes from I have a preference, I have a strong preference, and you're going against it, and it's an affront to me. And that's, I think, a big area where anger just rears up and just destroys unity is in the area of personality and preference, not in actual sin issues. Because we have text for sin issues. If someone sins, breaks one of the 10 commandments against you, that's a pretty clear path. You go to them, you confront them. Easy to confront. How do you confront somebody about being a dweeb about some secondary issue? You don't. That's why you got to love them and move on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just so-and-so. They really, really love their homeschool. Okay, fine. Let it ride.
Yeah.
Oh, that they really, really think that the way,
They're Android products.
yeah, exactly. Just let it ride,
Yeah. Oh, Ecclesiastes 7:9, control your temper, for anger labels you as a fool. Like,
It's foolish.
that's what I think about it. Like when you said these secondary issues, like if that becomes the topic of gossip and backbiting, like it looks foolish,
It does.
and it makes it not to be too like crass, but it makes you kind of stupid. Like you don't make wise decisions when we're arguing over like things that don't matter in the end,
Well, and
right?
if we're not, like if our eyes aren't on the gospel and on Christ, none of it matters. Like
Yeah.
why not spend more time talking about the beauty of our salvation and the greatness of our God? That's the stuff that matters. Like who cares how you educate your kid? Or again, that's the one I keep thinking of because it's late. It's the first thing I can think of. But
'Cause we're in the homeschool room right now.
yeah, there you go. I'm looking around thinking, well, I guess that is something whatever. But it's just sad to me
Yeah.
that we just can't. And then everybody's feelings get hurt and everybody gets mad. And then it's like, we shouldn't have broke unity over this because there's nothing here to break unity over. Like it's not. But again, people don't have the ability to distinguish between a command and preference.
Yeah.
Because functionally they feel the same. Like I want you to be educating your kids convictionally.
Yeah.
That's what I want for you. I want you to, I literally.
You literally can't get off
I
education.
can't think. Well, I'm also working education all day. Now.
I
I'm talking
know.
about
Yeah.
education all the time.
That's hilarious.
All the time talking about education right now.
Oh, it's so funny.
I just literally can't think of anything else.
Spankings,
Sure.
timeouts.
There you go. Yeah. So I have very strong opinions about that. Very strong. I have. You know what else I have a strong opinion about? We're crazy about scheduling, especially with our little
Oh,
kids.
sure.
Like I really believe in scheduling. Who cares? Like
Yeah.
none of that stuff is biblical. None of it's commanded. You could maybe make an argument that we've found some success with our kids doing these certain things. Okay, but like that's not, again, anything worth breaking up over. And I look at
Breaking up. Are we
fellowship. Yeah,
we
fellowship.
dating?
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it feels like it. Not you.
Right.
Anyway, I've been talking too long. Someone else get in here and save the day.
No, I think you're right. And then, I think currently, we're seeing a divide. It's probably just because I read about it a lot, but biblical translation, like what's translation of the Bible you're going to use? That splits churches for some reason.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Splits friendships too.
Yeah.
You read that one. You know.
Like I can't believe you would read that. How dumb are you? Like
Well, you read The Passion, so.
I mean, that was a time of weakness.
A pretty long time.
I only read it once.
I'm just kidding.
I don't read that often, but no, I just like stuff like that, right? Like, we're not on another plane of like knowledge and intelligence because we use a certain Bible translation, right? Like, just read.
Definitely people that think that.
Yeah, but like read a Bible so you can understand it and learn something.
Yeah.
Like let it stick, right?
It's the tribal tendencies again. It's
Ness,
I need
tribes.
people- I need people on my side, people that agree with me, and then I can feel better about the people I don't agree with.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like I wonder if that's the church hop thing, right? If I find
maybe.
if I find the place where I'm gonna be,
We do it with everything.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
do it
with
with, we
everything.
do it with the music. We do it.
Yeah.
We do it with the preaching. We do it
Yeah.
with the style of preaching.
yeah,
What's being preached specifically,
yeah,
even if it is all technically biblical.
Yeah.
Just there's so many.
Goes back to Andrew's thing. He said about worshiping self. Like it's
yeah.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
why isn't this? If this whole thing isn't giving me what I want, I'm out.
Yeah.
And that makes me mad.
Yeah, that's not even what church is about.
No,
No,
definitely not.
I don't know.
And I think I've shanghaied this topic to leave anger, so we should probably
no,
get back to anger.
no, I think.
But I just
it's
think
a
I
good
think
conversation. to
I think
have.
anger is a big part of unity, and it is a big drive. So anger destroys peace and unity, which I think are the two main themes
Mhm.
that come from. Because essentially we're talking about church life, right? I mean,
Yeah,
anger by definition is primarily relational. Like you have
Yeah.
to be angry. Sinful anger is typically at someone, not typically at something. Like again, if we're angry about the sin of abortion, you can be angry at a thing. That's maybe that's righteous anger. I don't know, being angry at a thing, but being angry at a person typically doesn't-
probably anger at a certain thing God deems as evil.
right. Yeah, it's a good distinction. Correct.
I would further distinguish that it's okay to be, for the example of abortion,
Mhm.
be angry that abortion exists.
Yeah.
Be ready to forgive someone who's had one or
Yes.
someone who
Right.
performs one.
That's very good.
You got to decide what's the enemy and what's the battlefield.
Yes, we don't understand how people get to that point.
Mhm.
Like, and to
Oh, you
To-
never know chapter 1 of a person's life.
no, and like,
Coming
and
into it, unless they're your kid,
yes,
you don't know chapter 1 of
Yes.
anybody's life.
and to put into like, and I think that's the problem with the hyperactive, like the hyper anger, just news cycle. I think I'm convinced that media is just there to stir up anger inside of us and like to build tribes.
I think that media is there for ratings, and they've figured out that stirring up is how they get the
You
ratings.
need an audience.
It's true.
And
Need
so
an
we,
audience.
instead of having the filters of the Holy Spirit on our spiritual eyes to our heart, we have the filters of our culture, and it makes us angry. And instead of forgiving those who have wronged us, then it's just condemning those who have passively wronged us, our views. And that's not how. I don't think that's how Jesus would have done things. I think I think he would have forgiven those who would say have abortions, or those like who yell at their wives, or even talk down to people, or like get too frustrated with their children.
It's
And,
tough
like,
to say it out loud, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
tough
I
to say,
know.
like, we
Like-
need to be ready to forgive, like, an abusive husband.
yeah,
We need to be ready to, like,
yeah,
help them. Don't let it keep happening,
Yeah.
but also forgive.
yeah,
Sin is a tricky thing
Yeah.
because it goes to the core of our being. We are sinners to the core of our being, but we can't allow it to be the only thing that defines us.
yeah,
What I think happens now is you are defined by a decision and an issue. So if you've had an abortion, you are now defined by that.
Yeah.
There's no redemption there. There's no
Yep.
forgiveness. There's no chapter 2. And that is a very divisive scheme that I think the world and the devil has used to basically build tribalism, is to say, once you've gone this far, you can never come back. But that's not the message of the gospel. The gospel is never, you've gone too far, you've sinned too greatly. That God's grace, and he says in, I think, Isaiah, is my arm too short to save? Is there anything I can't do? And we have to fight this what seems to be some cultural thought that if we're too liberal with our forgiveness and too loose, we could get it wrong.
Yeah.
But that's not, but again, we don't get to play God. So if somebody is an abusive husband and comes and repents and seeks to change, what can we do? Well, we're supposed to accept that. What if they fall back into it? Well, again, we don't stand before God about that person's decisions. All we can do is forgive and walk with and bear with and
Yeah.
encourage and minister to and call them to be the husband they're supposed to be. But if they sin or they relapse or they fall or they were never, that's ultimately not on us.
Yeah.
And so we almost want to say, well, because there's too much danger there, we got to put up walls. And that guy's a wife beater. We can never talk to him. He can never be a member of this church. He shouldn't even come on a Sunday. Well, that can't be the right answer either. So this is dangerous.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's dangerous because sin is difficult
yeah,
and it's pervasive and it reaches to our base nature. So we will look countercultural. Like we can't just say, okay, this person's beyond whatever. You can't say it.
Mhm.
You can't say it.
It's like we can't have black and white answers.
No.
It's like we have to think about issues
But even saying
individually.
that, what is the church going to say? Oh, Andrew's going liberal. He doesn't
No.
believe in right and wrong anymore.
no, you're
I've been told to stop riding the fence by extended family.
no, like,
It was Bryce, wasn't
That was Bryce's grandpa.
it? Just kidding.
Grandpa Paul.
Yeah. My grandpa is.
I had a conversation with someone, and it's like we don't leave room for the mysteries of God and the things that He say, because that it doesn't make sense to us. He's not like, we're not divine.
Man, I'm sure glad it doesn't all make sense.
No, like I was like,
Otherwise, we'd have to doubt his divinity if it all
no,
made
if you don't
sense.
leave room for mystery, it doesn't. We wouldn't be as in awe of who God is, and we wouldn't be in awe of like, oh my gosh, He saved me. Why?
Mm-hmm.
I had nothing to give.
Right.
I didn't deserve this. Like, I'm gross. Like, but God, the creator of all things and all life, like, chose me. And so I can choose to forgive this person that blatantly wronged me and move on,
Mm-hmm.
instead of holding the dagger behind their back, waiting for them to mess up again so that I can take my anger out on them because they wronged me. I deserve revenge. I deserve to be made right. But when someone comes and does that to me and I'm surprised about it, look where it started. It started with my actions and my choices to not let go.
Yeah. It's so good.
The cycle.
I'm just saying, like, okay. Forgiveness is a choice.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
not. You're not going to do it on your own.
Right.
If God's changing your heart, you will choose to forgive.
Yeah. And also, God doesn't give you a lobotomy.
No.
Like, you will
Yeah.
remember that it happened.
No.
So it is a constant fight of faith to continue, because the idea of like forgive and forget, well, guess what?
Forget.
It's just not going to happen.
No.
I forget to go to the store. I don't forget how bad I was hurt.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Well,
so
because it's a prick. It's like a something has happened
Mhm.
where it has. You can call back like certain smells, certain like areas are going to call that back,
Mhm.
and it's something in our, and I think it's honestly I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's like God helps us remember the things that we have come from, and it's also because of a trigger point of something traumatic that has happened to us that is it's just wired in our brains.
Yep.
And that is because of a fallen world, and I think it's because of our sin, because it's like, oh hey,
Mhm.
there it is again. Bring it back up. Remember, let your wife remember what she did to you right here. Let your friend remember that, hey, you hurt me here. Do you remember that?
Mhm.
Like it's all, and like I said, it's all about self. It's all about promoting the self, not promoting unity and love and forgiveness and and joy with one another.
even in our forgiveness, we don't get the black and white answer we want, right? We want to just forgive them and it to be done. Like, okay, it's over. But a lot of times it's not over. Like it's a daily, weekly. I mean, there are people that will have wronged you that you're going to be in proximity to, and you're going to have to fight that fight of faith daily to say, I still remember it, and it's still really hurt, but God is greater. Christ is more glorious, and through Him I can endure this and thrive, and ultimately love them, because that's the command.
Yes.
The command is greater than we even
Love
think.
one another.
It's not get along with. It's love.
It's not that it's not the cushy Hollywood love.
You could maybe get away with getting along with somebody without the power of the Spirit, but you're never going to love them.
Yeah.
Not without Christ,
Not at all.
because it's hard.
Brandon, you made me think of this might be far enough off tangent that we can edit it out later. So edit. But when you're talking about how like things like smells and locations bring that stuff back up, it makes me think of the whole hard times make strong men make good times make soft men kind of a thing.
Yeah, I've heard that.
That like our brains, I think God designed those parts of our brains for when survival was more of an issue than it is now. It used to be that we this was a place where we used to gather food, or this used to be where we go to get water, and then remember, oh no, there's alligators there, or something like that.
That's
and
good.
now, since we don't have to worry about alligators when we go to the supermarket, we instead find like our brains make the danger things like I was offended
No.
or I was treated unfairly in this spot, because we don't have anything that actually serious to deal with. Like now we're
That's a good perspective.
we're putting a lot of weight onto little things because we don't have big things to deal with anymore, or not the same kind of big thing.
And not to keep going back to Ephesians 4 and 5, but that is the whole process that Paul is using. And he would say it like this: put off the old man, put on the new man. You can't take something away without replacing with something. Otherwise, that other thing will come back, or something worse will come back. So to Andrew's point, I think what Paul is saying in like chapter 4 is, let the thief no longer steal. Well, what should he do? Rather have him labor and doing honest work with his own hands, so that he might have something to give. So the answer isn't just stop stealing. It's go to work and give. Right? The complete opposite of stealing. Make your own money
That
and be
180.
generous. Right.
It's like repent,
yeah, correct.
turn around,
Turn and go a different direction.
go the different direction.
So I think what Andrew is hitting on here is the same spiritual principle of nature. You just can't have a vacuum. Like if you take something out, something's going to go there. And so what Paul is saying is this is what should go there. So be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger. Give no opportunity to the devil. Those are 3 commands about not being angry. So be angry. Then what do? Don't sin. Don't let the sun go down on it. And don't give the devil an opportunity. And all of these little ones in here have a do and a don't. Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouth. So what do? But speech that is only good for building up.
Yeah.
So it's don't just stop talking. It's use your words for good.
Yeah.
So to your point, yeah, this is a place that reminds me of this or reminds me of that. So we need to be replacing that with something better because that will come back. So what is the answer? Well, when I run into this person, it's don't call up the things that they did to hurt me. It's call up, I want for your good, unity, love, brotherhood, peace. These are the things that we want to have with believers because something's going to come up when I think of them. We don't want it to be the bad stuff. We want it to be what God commands us to bring up.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's great. That's very good.
Not that any of it's easy.
No.
Or that any of us do this.
But we
Yeah, we're really good at talking about doing it.
That's
like we have to have these conversations.
Yeah, no,
we
it's-
we need to point each other in the right direction.
Right.
Instead of
mm-hmm.
letting our bitterness and our anger stew, and like you are not identified by your anger.
right.
We identify I'm so passionate because I feel like I've been hurt. So I'm going to be identified with, I'm going to hold that burden of anger on my back so that everyone can tell. And I'm not going to let it go because this is who I am now.
Right.
I have been hurt so much that I want people to know I've been hurt so much. Look at me. Look at what so and so said about me or done or has done to me or cheated me. Look at my burden. Take a look. I want you to see it. But God says to let go of the burden on your back and take the easy yoke of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He says let me hold that because you cannot hold it any longer.
Amen.
So get rid of it and walk with me. Walk the narrow road. The wide road of the world and hell says to give full vent to your anger.
Mm-hmm.
Let everyone online know how bad of a bad apple you are. Let them all know how angry you are, and then when you see them face to face, don't even talk that way.
Don't
Right?
worry, it was anonymous.
I know, but it's like I wonder. I just wonder. I wonder if we were face to face with one another and we did the things that Jesus said go and reconcile, make the enemy your brother. Like how in Philemon there's a intertwining story of you make the enemy your brother.
I learned that from an unbeliever at work. I had a guy that I worked with. He was I trained him. He was a salesman, and he had a customer that was so mad at him. And I was talking to him on the phone about it. What are you going to do? He goes, I'm going to go in there. What do you mean you're going to go? I'm going to go see him face to face. I go, are you kidding me? They're going to kill you. He said, no one's ever as mean face to face as they are on the phone or by email. He said, if you got a problem in sales, walk in the door. I'm like, that's crazy. You know what? It's true. So to your point, that's true.
Yeah.
The other thing I would say is the word I would use about what you're describing now that I think the culture is doing, identity.
Yeah.
Identity. The thing that you have to fight as a Christian is what is your identity?
Yeah.
It is not victim. It is not my sexual desires. It's none of. If you are a Christian, your identity is in Christ. It is no longer I who live, but He who lives in me. Galatians 2:20. And if you allow the world or even the church to dictate to you what your identity is, you will never have the right identity. The identity comes from the Scriptures. It comes from what God says about us. We are forgiven. We are redeemed. We are humble. We are sinners. We are the crown jewel of creation. All of these things have to come together, and you have to know all of them. But you know them not because you're being spoon-fed, but you need to know them.
Yeah.
Because our identity, because it can be a good thing. Well, what's my identity? Hard worker. What's my identity? Father. What's my identity? Pastor. These are not the identities that we need to have. The identity we should have is redeemed believer.
But there's a negative side to that. It's like my identity is depressed.
Right.
My identity is bitter.
Yes.
My identity is angry.
Mm-hmm.
My identity is fill in the blank.
All of it. I agree, all of it.
And so
Anything.
I can't recall where the verse is, but it's I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I think some other translations use uniquely made. And so when we're born again, God takes the old and He replaces the new with who we were supposed to be. And if we're working out our salvation, we're becoming who God wanted us to be individually to help the communal of the body. to do the one thing that we're all called to do, is to worship the Lord.
Yeah.
So you're not any of these things that you keep saying that you are. You're not a helpless, angry person. If you are of Christ, if you are in Christ, you are born again. You are made new. The old has gone, the new has come.
2 Corinthians, let's go. So that's okay. So this is the pastor in me. That is not to say that the things you're dealing with aren't real.
No, they're
Right?
not real.
Let's also
Right.
balance that out and just say, hey, like hear what we're not saying, which is you have no right to have to process
No.
or
No,
grieve.
and I don't think we said that.
I don't think anybody would think that, but just to be abundantly
Yes.
clear,
Yeah.
like what we're telling you is life is hard, it's kind of stinky, and everybody goes through stuff that no one wants to go through. And we understand that. That's why the Bible talks about bearing with, weeping with. So don't hear us saying that either. But ultimately, like where we want to get to is our identity is in Christ alone.
Yeah.
We don't have, meaning you have power over your circumstances. You have power over your history and your background. You don't have to be what you are now if you have Christ forever. You don't have to be. There is hope. There is hope for you.
Yeah.
Not even just in some distant, far off, eternal life, but there's hope now for you. So, but we know it's hard. And that's why the Bible also tells us to weep with those who weep and care for those. So we know that's why we're here, is we're here to bear with each other and walk together and point each other to Christ,
Yeah.
knowing that our identity is so much greater than it is most days.
Yeah. Gosh,
So good.
So good.
that's awesome. That was like, I think we hit anger, but we also just talked.
We were there for a while.
We did. Well, we also talked about the other side of what it should be. Like
Which is biblical.
Yes, it's very
We
biblical.
don't want somebody to stop being angry
Yeah,
and not give them something to replace that with.
yeah. Because like you get rid of something, something will fill that spot, right? Like, and you'd hope that it would be God.
Yeah.
I get rid of this hurt that this person did to me, and I want to put God there. I don't want to put another person there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give full vent to my anger and just keep being angry. I want to be made whole.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to keep being anemic in my faith. I don't want to be so hands distance. I want people with me. I want to know and love people, because God has asked me and called me to love people that are hard to love. That's why I will always fully believe that our faith and the God of the Bible, he brings people that don't make sense together. And how beautiful that is. And how wonderful that is. Because he knew we needed one another. Like each individual person here with different personalities. He wasn't asking us to become robots. He was asking us to be who we are and to come in together and work this out with one another. Which is going to mean you're going to get bumps and bruises along the way. But it doesn't mean we get to just walk away from one another.
That's true.
As hard as it is, and as hard as I want to walk away sometimes. Not with you guys. You guys are pretty cool. But it's like, there's been times I'm just like, I just don't want to do this. This is so hard, God. This is too difficult for me to hold on to. He's like, well, you're not the one holding on to it. You're not the one controlling it, right? I am. So give it to me. And I'm like, well, then it's way more minuscule than I thought it was. Right? Because I'm like, oh, I just give it to him. And just keep moving on. And
Why did that affect me so much?
why did I let that turn me into like something I'm not supposed to be? And yeah,
Amen, dude.
God is beautiful.
Yeah.
God is good.
He's great.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like-
there's so much to be had.
If that's all we ever heard every time we went to service is like, God is good. Like,
Yeah.
of course he's good.
Right.
Like every part of him is good.
And he deserves to be the main thing.
Yeah.
So if you keep him the main thing in everything, then a lot of this stuff just falls away.
Yeah.
I think of our vision. I mean, that's why I love that hymn, "Be Thou My Vision." Like, if our vision is good, if our vision is on the right thing, like everything else stays in perspective. It's when we put our eyes on the wrong stuff that anger and frustration and all that stuff comes, we need clear spiritual vision, which you're just not going to get it anywhere else other than the Bible and with the fellowship of the believers, because even we need to wrap it up.
No.
We don't have another 20 minutes to talk about how even other ministries can do that kind of stuff, right? So like we just need to be Bereans on our own 2 feet and be fed by God and His Word. And yes, listen to your pastors, listen to your ministries, but always be vetting that stuff, because not every ministry is going to get it all right. Not every pastor is going to say the right thing. So like, just know your scriptures.
Yeah.
Don't be. There are no grandchildren of the faith. We all got to be sons.
Yeah, sons and daughters.
Can't ride somebody else's coattails.
I think of the song. I think of the song we're singing tomorrow, that we know Him by 1,000 names, and He deserves every single one.
That's a great song.
Giving me a million ways to be amazed at what you've done, and I'm lost in wonder at all you do. Like, let's get back to that.
Amen.
Right? Yeah, I think we covered it. Jim, do you have anything to say?
He's been here the whole time.
No, he doesn't have anything to say because he's not here.
I'm sure he does.
Well, I imagine he.
Can we just like have him listen to this and talk in a mic and add stuff? randomly?
He can.
And
He
then
can.
Bryce, you just splice them
Why
together.
did it take
that'll
a
be
year and a half for this episode to come out?
Super easy. It will not be out by November 12th. I'm pretty sure.
November 2025.
I think.
Yeah.
Gotta put that one in the can for next year. All right, I'm done.
I am. Yeah, Bryce, you want to get us out of here?
What? This has been Outsider Podcast.
That's not how.
I sound like Strong Bad.
That's exactly it.
That's not how I say that.
I'm Senor Card Gauge.
Wrap it up.
Okay. Hey, this has been Outsiders Podcast. Thanks for listening. You'll see stuff coming out. Have a good one.
Bye.
We love you. Bye.
Goodbye.
That was his head.
Still going. Can't exit out. But stop.